So, guys, whereabouts are you? You're obviously you're touring. You're in the wide world.
Yes. Although, well, we're actually at home. My car had to go to get a service. So my car's getting the service and getting some things sorted out, and we're in our touring van. But we actually aren't on tour right at this second. But
No.
we are about to be.
Right. Yes, I saw it. It's a decent jaunt. There's many days. What
got a few shows.
What are some of the packing essentials? Like I love asking bands this. What are some of the things you are like, all right, we're on a tour, I can't forget?
Good tea. You have to have, I always pack a little teapot and loose leaf tea. Oh, you meant like guitars and stuff like that, or did you mean
No,
survival?
I mean like touring survival, like the stuff that makes you less miserable.
Yeah, cup of tea.
Well, for me, because the footy season is getting closer, I've got to pack my lucky undies because on game day, on match day, I've got to wear my team undies.
That's true.
So that's probably the most obscure and unusual thing on my end. Apart from that, nothing very exciting to actually.
You should tell Tommy you go for the Richmond Tigers. So
yeah, I was going to say let's get a visual here. So
yeah.
Yeah,
Richmond
tigers
there's tigers on his undies. There you go, folks.
I used to pack a sewing machine in the early days with the Waifs when everything was driving around in the van. I'd always have my sewing machine with me because you never knew when you might
need an alteration.
Or find something at the op shop that just needs fixing up or something.
He's a very good seamstress.
But now I've downgraded to like a little Tupperware container with some needles and thread and and a quick unpick and a few essential items.
Geez, you would have been good in the army. We had a lady we had to take all of our stuff to.
I thought a soldier would have to be able to do their own running repairs.
We used to. That was a thing back in the day. In my day, no. You took it to a lady with the charming nickname, the Stitch Bitch.
The Stitch Bitch.
So, yes.
That's great. I really like that. Yeah, my pop spent some time in the army. He had to darn his own socks. He was the best, like knitter and they used to teach some great skills back in the day.
Yeah, knots. I'd never got taught any knots. Yeah.
So if you were out on the battlefield, would the Stitch Bitch be there with a little portable setup just to do some repairs if you needed it, or
probably not on the battlefield?
not on the battlefield, but on base somewhere, maybe. Or maybe I don't know. Who knows? But fortunately, we never had to polish our boots either, which is really cool. Well, because in Australian Army we wear sand-coloured boots, which you don't.
Yeah, so you don't have to. Yeah.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah. There you go.
I have been listening to the latest album. I understand that it was recorded across 3 different studios. Why?
Yes. Well, we don't really like the other musicians.
Our bass player and drummer smell, so we can't be in the same room as them.
No, we have absolute number one total faith and love in our 2 muso mates, Matt Fell and Josh Schubert. And yes, Matt lives in Tasmania and Josh the Blue Mountains and us on the Central Coast. So
I grew up in Tassie. I'm allowed to say ew. Yeah.
That's what I thought you meant the Blue Mountains. Ew.
No. Sorry. So I'm in Brisbane, but yes, I lived in Tassie. So.
Well, it's beautiful. We love going to Tassie, and Matt has moved there. He was a Queensland fella that ended up in Sydney, but fell in love with Tassie. So he's set up his studio and his life down there now. And it was kind of like, well, on our previous album, if we're going to do this, we decided that we just do some iPhone recordings making our demos and we would send it to the boys and then they put a rhythm track down, bass and drums, and then we played to that. And because we already do our arrangements, we know how the songs are shaped. It's really time efficient. Yeah. And because they know us so well and we let them have full creative explosion, like just play as you want to play. They know us, they know what we're about. So it just works out perfectly, Tom.
Yeah, love that. Now, you guys, your creative partnership, I understand, was forged through something called Song Club. Now, what can you tell me about that?
Yeah.
Well, it was a mutual friend he's an Aussie living over in Nashville, and he started this club up where he would email usually about half a dozen members. That's all they could take at the one time, but you'd get emailed a prompt once a week, and you had to write a song, turn it in by Thursday midnight to that prompt. So it was a great exercise to get your own creativity going, but you got to listen to everyone else's song each week as well. So we were listening to each other's weekly offerings, and kind of felt like we got to know each other a bit through the songs we were writing. And then Fliss invited me to pop around one day when I was driving through her neighborhood and have a go at writing a song in person together. And
I put the kettle on and he hasn't left, basically.
I really like, though, I can imagine that would be incredibly stimulating. Like, as much as art, people like to say, oh, there's no rules, do whatever you want, no rules. Yeah, but I've always found I have thrived more creatively if you give me some rules to follow. Like, if you say, paint me a picture, I'll sit there all day just staring at a blank canvas going, eh. But if it's like, okay, paint a picture involving a horse and a car or something, I don't know, whatever, you can then take that and go with it. So I can imagine Song Club would have been really stimulating. What can you give me an example of one of the prompts?
Oh yeah, it was good, and the prompts were just like a launching off point. There was no really rules beyond that. The Spare Parts was the very first week that we were in it, and so
we ended up recording that on our first album.
That was actually our first single that we ever put out was Spare Parts. So
what was the prompt? Sorry, that created Spare Parts, for example.
Yeah,
that was
Spare Parts was the prompt.
Literally it.
So yeah, that's all it was. So sometimes it was the one word. It might have been half a sentence, like a short phrase, or
2 words,
just 2 words,
1 word,
like that. So it was just something to make a starting point from, and it was really interesting to hear everybody's take on the prompts, because you get completely different spins on things.
It was so cool. I mean, it was stressful. And Josh used to refer to it as like being in school, because you had to hand in your work,
deadlines and discipline,
and we weren't getting marked on it or scored or anything. It was just this lovely community of writers giving feedback, going, oh my gosh, man, you took that song there, I never thought of that idea, where did that come from? So when Josh handed in Spare Parts that very first week, I thought, I'm going to have to pull my socks up, because this guy he's out of the box, amazing songwriter. And we were all kind of going, wow, how did you do that, Josh? And then when we were looking at putting our first album together, it was a no-brainer that we had all these songs we'd written individually through that songwriting experience of the Song Club. So we thought we should name the album The Song Club and use songs we wrote from the Song Club.
I love it. The title Spare Parts makes me laugh. I remember someone on the internet was saying that they're an identical twin brother, and their twin brother is in their phone as Spare Parts.
I love that too.
So if you were in the Song Club, you could have had an amazing song that no one else would have come.
Yeah.
Tragedy.
I might use that on stage. I so want to share that story now. I probably will say that this weekend about our chat.
Yeah, and if it's even real, most of the internet's made up, so go ham. When I Google both of your names together, one of the common questions that pops up is, are you a couple?
Does it?
Yeah, and I must admit, reading the press release, they used a phrase that was partners in creativity and in life or something, and I was like, well, hang on, are they married? Did these two get married? I don't know, so I'm guessing no from your face.
Oh no, well we're a thing.
Engaged,
yeah, we're a thing. We're a real thing.
That is a thing. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So was that a common question that you were getting for a while?
Not really.
Really?
I actually think it was that apparent to people that they didn't even really need to
Apparently
ask.
not.
Well, yeah, apparently.
Well, maybe now that we've settled into our groove, but in the beginning, probably I couldn't contain my excitement and, my love eyes.
He had goo goo eyes for me all the time.
Oh, bless. Now, guys, so I have noticed in the country artists that I've spoken to, in that the country music seems to be quite an insulated genre from the rest of the music scene. It kind of, there's less spillover into other genres. Like, for example, blues and roots has a spillover into rock and stuff like that. But I found with Australian country, it kind of sticks very much to am I full of shit? Would you agree? I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I think there's the odd spill. I like that. The odd spillover, lane changing or whatever else you want to call it. And sometimes that's an intentional thing that an actor and a management team and a record company will really go for that. Mm-hmm. Other times it just happens organically because, music has a way of finding its people, I think. But as a general thought, I guess country music does have its own industry and its festivals and its go-to agents and managers, and there is a bit of a family, I guess. That's what we always have referred to it as. But I guess Josh coming in from the waifs, folk blues world, it has been a new experience for Josh to see how it operates in the country world and vice versa for me going into Josh's more folk blues world. And I'm going, wow, this is so cool. Like it has been different audiences for us to sort of experience, and we're getting a bit of that cross-pollination. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. I think people just naturally form communities around the specific thing that they're into.
Yeah.
And, country music is a pretty specific flavor and taste. It's getting a lot broader these days. Like it's kind of a lot of the lines are getting blurred and mixing different genres in, and but I think it's just probably an organic thing that happens rather than country music going, oh, let's cloister ourselves over in our little corner on our own. But to me, it's in the same family as folk and blues and jazz and just roots music. It's just all good organic music that's comes from the ground up, and it's a really lovely scene to be a part of.